Hello, brothers and sisters. Father Nathaniel, National Chaplain for the Lumen Institute, and we're now beginning Lent, and we're turning our reflections this month to the virtue of perseverance. Now, that we're reflecting on this virtue is important, not just because you as leaders know what perseverance is and because you have to live it in your life, but also, and more importantly, because Jesus himself, who this Lent we're going to celebrate, perseveres from the cradle, being born in Bethlehem, to the cross on Good Friday for you and me out of love. So perseverance is at the heart of his heart. Now, perseverance is another name for the moral virtue of fortitude, right? Virtues are good habits of behavior that eventually yield true peace of mind. They bring us to have a strength of spirit. And, the virtues are like gardens to some degree. It's easy to get them started, but making them grow to fruition takes constant attention and work. Think about a garden. Even if you haven't done one, I think you can kind of get this idea. If you don't keep watering it, fertilizing them, yanking out the weeds, killing the pests, well, your plants might survive, but they're certainly not going to bear the fruit that you want. To enjoy the incomparable virtue, the fruit of virtue, you need to persevere in the exercise of virtues. And so when we talk about perseverance, let's go back to the Latin word, persevera, which means through severe difficulties. It's the ability to undertake challenging, though worthwhile, endeavors and follow through with them, no matter the personal cost. Think about that. It's going to take courage. It takes fortitude, patience, constancy, tenacity, determination. Fortitude, perseverance, it's the stuff of heroes. It's also the virtue that nourishes the other virtues. Because in order to grow in any virtue, think like prudence or love or any area of your life, including prayer, you need this virtue of perseverance. Virtues are good habits, and habits are formed by repetitive action. But repeating good and self-sacrificing action is hard. That's why we need this virtue. Perseverance is the virtue that enables you to stick it out. In today's parlance, you might call it grit. Now, if you open up the dictionary, Merriam-Webster dictionary, what do you see about grit, right? You see firmness of character, indomitable spirit. Grit is passion, it's perseverance for a very long-term goal. It's having stamina to go after what is important and takes a long time to achieve. So sticking with your future day in and day out is not just for one day of the month, but it's for years oftentimes. It's living life as a marathon, not as a sprint. Perseverance helps you run that marathon of life. It requires courage. It requires the ability to manage fear of failure and hard work. Teddy Roosevelt once said, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done better. Credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes again and again because there's no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does not actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly." My brothers and sisters, count on the prayers of all the chaplains this Lenten season. May we each persevere, especially in prayer, fasting, and almsgiving for love of Christ and love of neighbor. These are the three things the Church recommends for us to go deep this Lent. I pray that you will choose to go deep in them and persevere in them. Take care, and God bless.